Yeah, good morning. Myself, I am Adinarayanane, Dean Planning and Development, School of Planning and Architecture, Vijayawada, Government of India. So I'll be presenting my research paper, the topic impact of land use type on the spatial heterogeneity of extreme heat environment in Jaipur City, Rajasthan, India. So urban heat island, you might be aware of, that is a familiar terminology which we try to address in the urban system. Urban heat island is a microclimatic phenomenon which occurs within the urban areas and consists of generally warmer temperature than the rural surroundings. Impacts of heat island effect through energy consumption, elevated greenhouse gas emissions and air pollution, danger to aquatic system, animals, discomfort, danger to human health, ultimately impact on climate. Land use planning is a systematic and iterative procedure carried out in order to create an enabling environment for sustainable development of land resources which meets people's needs and as well as demand. Land use and urban heat island effect, where through urbanization, the shift of population towards urban areas, increase in built space, changing land uses, urban sprawl, overcrowding, traffic congestion, and so on, contribute these elevated air temperatures, creating urban heat island. Microclimate, wherein urban shift changes the climate in cities with an increase in human activities. So, change in land use accounts for change in its build density, building typology, population density, the energy used by buildings, and vegetation cover. It becomes important to understand the relationship of land use characteristics and its role in altering the microsurface climate of a region. So, coming to study region, we have chosen for the detailed investigation on this urban heat island effect with a special reference to land use planning is Jaipur City, Rajasthan State, the northern state. The study area comprising of Jaipur Municipal Corporation. Jaipur City is well known as Pink City and capital state of Rajasthan. It is one of the country's million-plus cities. Only the city of this rank in Rajasthan. Climate, it falls under semi-arid region of climate zones with hot summers and cold winters. City urban growth can be seen with various timeline with built up area increasing. Land uses would also modify with associated urban growth. So Jaipur City in 1857 and Jaipur City growth in 1885, morphological growth, and then Jaipur City's growth in 1947 and 2018, where you can see and we can witness the extraordinary growth in the urban system. And Jaipur City urban growth between 1973 to 2011 were also mapped here to understand the intensity of the urbanization associated urban growth. Then the study area context, urban growth in south of the city. It is witnessed the urban growth is more in the south of the city. There are certain geographical constraints for urban growth. So urbanization in the city, increase in population, increase in built up area with the loss of a permeable surface and energy consumption of land use functions. Then spatial expansion of a city on one side because the geographical location of the city, loss of green spaces, less water bodies, all the factors in Jaipur city which is leading to UHI effect. Land use plan 2021 is presented here. The study region confined with the boundary of 467 square kilometers. The land use plan of Jaipur city has various land uses like residential, commercial, industrial, mixed land use, recreational, army area, special area, and so on. With this, the analysis starts with Jaipur Municipal Corporation, which is having 10 planning zones for their administrative convenience, under which the development happens. they monitor the control and guide the development. Each zone has predominant land use based on its usage of land. With this, the indicator to establish link between land use and UHI in the system are land use concentration zones having residential area, commercial, mobility, recreational, public, semi-public, agriculture, industrial, mixed use as parameters. Built-up characteristics as built area and population density as parameters. Land use characteristics have energy consumption as parameter. Land use classification has built to open, that is paved bar circulation ratio, built to green ratio, built to water ratio. And land use and UHI relationship indicator has LST, NDVI, NDBI, LULC, and NDWI considered as control parameter. Under this research study, the research study was conducted in two levels, at city level and planning zone level. Correlation, spatial autocorrelation, geographically weighted overlay, and finally Fishnet analysis were carried out in the investigation. In analysis, the land use land cover classification for the year 2023 is presented here. The spatial variation of land surface temperature occur due to complexity of land surface, combination of impervious surface material, vegetation, exposed soils, as well as the water surfaces. So land surface temperature 2023 is presented in the right-hand side, where the built-up topography both has role in regulating the temperature of the area. City lacks the natural features. The map shows the temperature range between 24 degrees Celsius to 39 degrees Celsius. Maximum area experiences higher temperature, that is around 33 degrees Celsius to 39 degrees Celsius for the maximum time of the year, where the temperature trend and correlation analysis of land surface temperature, UHI area, and land use indices were considered. Here, LST, the residential area, is industrial area in the city having a maximum population density, so density shows higher surface temperature with more human activities in the region. It will lead to anthropogenic heat release leading to surface temperature, which is having a positive correlation. The R2 value is 0.78. Whereas the UHI, the city has built up in core areas, which includes residential, commercial, industrial, and land use zones showing higher temperature, which is a positive correlation. Land use zones having residential, industrial has more surface temperature as well as high energy consumption, which is having a R square value of 0.86, positive correlation. Then water bodies are drying, well being replaced by built mass due to urbanization. City has seen experiencing rise in temperature, which is having a negative correlation, which is the R square value is 0.89. Whereas the energy consumption data is positive correlation is used to compute associated with the carbon emission of various planning zones, which gave carbon emission per kg per kilowatt hour. Each planning zone has various activities and dominant land use. Then vegetative cover, which is having a negative correlation, the R square value is 0.87 in the city, very less, and which is leading to rise in surface temperature. Then the comparative analysis of temperature trend and correlation analysis for LST, UHI, and land use indices, which is tabulated here. LST, NDVI, NDWI, NDBI, electricity, carbon emission, population density, and circulation areas, where the correlation matrix is prepared. The high correlation indicates a strong association between the two variables, whereas low correlation indicates poor relationship between and poor association between the variables. So spatial autocorrelation here was carried out for land surface temperature to find its impacts on nearby areas. It shows clustered value, which means it would affect the neighboring value and would form a cluster. The outcome revealed there is a relation between land surface temperature of one area with the land surface temperature of another area. So geographically weighted overlay here, normalizing the value to get the results with the same unit as data has different unit set, and the result might not come correct. So the Bagru, Adarsh Nagar, Hawa Mahal, and Amir and Sheikh, all these areas have higher correlation and the correlation matrix is given in the table. Then grassroots level analysis, the Fishnet analysis is carried out. Grassroots level analysis taking into consideration the planning zones was carried out. Identification of The correct set of parameters to regulate the surface temperature can be established using Fishnet analysis in ArcGIS. Fishnet grid of 250 meter by 250 meter where use was generated for land use zone of residential, commercial, and industrial. With commercial, the Havamagal 29% and Kishanpol 46%, Bagru 59%, Civil Line 52%, Vidyadhar 52%, and then Sangnar 33%, and their the results are presented as per the planning zone in the map. With this contribution of land use factors to land use land surface temperature dynamics. So the commercial area has less circulation pace as compared to built up. The population is floating. There is which are customers coming to commercial area. Green area of the place is less. Recreation space accounting for only 1% of the area, where the commercial area which is having high intensity, and the predominant use residential mean it is higher population, higher build density. The industrial zone will have wider roads for goods, material transport, as well as higher machinery would be used. This would lead to high energy consumption, thus more carbon emission has been observed in the system in commercial area, residential area, and industrial area. Then contribution of land use factor to land surface temperature dynamics in commercial areas. Here, the grid shows rise in temperature for the area in the vegetation cover is very less. Then NDWA index lies between 0 to 0.14. Here, it has been observed that there is a less energy consumption in the area. Positive correlation is there is energy consumption and land surface temperature. So green accounts for only 1%, circulation space is 6%. In the residential area, NDVA, NDWA, NDVA index lies between 0.09 to 0.06, 0.05 to 0.24, and minus 0.27 to minus 0.5 respectively. The grid shows rise in temperature for the area where build density is more as compared to other area. Surface temperature in the northern direction is less compared to other area. There is a reserved forest area. So then energy consumption of the planning zone lies between 225 kilowatt hour to 340 kilowatt hour. Then industrial area, circulation space will be more in the industrial area as it must carry a heavy vehicle. Industrial area shows the land surface temperature around 36 degrees Celsius to 37 degrees Celsius, which comes under uncomfortable thermal zone. NDVA, NDVA, and NDWA index lies between 0.03 to 0.24 and minus 0.11 to 0.07, minus 0.26 to minus 0.3 respectively. There is a scarcity of water body in this particular zone, and because of which the surface temperature is rising. Zone has very less green cover, and thus short wave radiation would not happen. So at the correlation of land use indices, at city level, all the parameters shows correlation with the land surface temperature. Increasing or decreasing the value of parameter with city level intervention and recommendations will have effect on temperature of a city. At planning zone level, surface temperature varies for different land uses for each land use zone, which is commercial, industrial, and residential, and so on. Then coming to recommendation, after investigating at the city level and at planning zone level, the following strategies were recommended to adopt to achieve the comfortable outdoor thermal for the city of Jaipur at city level as well as at the planning zone level. So the urban heat island mitigation and strategic processes recommended, there are certain recommendations and strategic recommendations were made with a green roof, evaporation and delay of runoff, high albedo roof material, reflection of solar radiation, no absorption of heat, high albedo pavement material, reflection of solar radiation, green vegetation, evaporation and absorption of CO2, shade trees, interception of sunlight, water bodies, evaporation and enhanced wind speed, urban planning, wind path and free space need to be accounted, and previous pathway cooling by infiltrated water. And at city level, green initiatives, encouraging adaptation of a long-term strategic approach to physical greening of urban system. It provides an opportunity of a holistic vision for whole city, allowing the linkages between green spaces. Blue initiatives, encouraging the adaptation of long-term strategic approach to have holistic vision of incorporating urban blue in the city. With this, At city level, strengthening the blue-green infrastructure, the Vijayawada river flows through the Jaipur city north to south over a length of 47.5 kilometers, developing riverfront so that it would help in regulating the temperature in the city as it turns throughout the city. So a stretched green corridor will have both blue and green waves of the city together, regulating the city's surface temperature. Then at planning zone level, commercial zone, circulation space can be reduced to get the space for introducing green belt. Light vehicles should be allowed in the area. Previous high albedo surfaces should be incorporated. At the residential zone, green roof moderate and heat flowing through the roof. This helps to reduce the temperature fluctuation caused by solar radiation. At industrial zone, it can be reduced by planting more trees in the vicinity and could regulate the temperature and thus the less load on electrical appliances. With this, to conclude, the planning zone level recommendations along with regulating the microclimate will as a whole help in achieving thermal comfort in the conducive thermal comfort in the city. Implementing grassroots level will ensure easy monitoring and execution. With this, I conclude my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I will process this two video and post it on the YouTube channel. Then I will send you the link. Okay.
Okay, madam. Thank you so much.
Did you submit the full manuscript?
Yes. First time itself, I have submitted my full manuscript.
Okay.
Both the papers.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Have a good day. Thank you.
Bye.